that got selected was, what got randomly selected? Extraordinaries. I forgot my dog outside. Oh my God. Ow, ow. A little doggy break. Hello book lovers, welcome back or to the channel. My name is Steph and today we will be doing my August Disney Villainous TBR game. If this is the first TBR game that you guys are watching, I will leave the entire playlist linked down below so that you guys can understand all of the rules and see the previous months. As always, at the beginning of these videos, I am going to go through my July TBR and let you guys know how I did, but I will just preface it by saying that I did read all of the books on my July TBR, so I'm not going to tell you that I read every single book because I did read every single book on my July TBR. So the first book I had to read was a 5-star prediction, and this has 3 power, and I chose Something is Killing the Children Volume 4, so I will be adding 3 power for this. Then it was one of my most anticipated reads, so I read One Perfect Couple. Then we had a hero battle with Chicha, and her prompt was smut or pregnancy, and for this I read Out on a Limb. Roll number 4 was a fate, and the book that got selected was When I Was Your Age. Then I got another play a card, and the play a card was a book with an adaptation, and for this I chose Foe by Ian Reid, and I will be adding another power, so then we are sitting at 10 power. Then we hit a vanquish, and that is any book that I am in the mood for, so I put Finders Keeper on the TBR. We then got a randomize, and the book gods definitely knew that I needed to read this book and chose Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, which was a super chunky book, but again, I did complete all of the books on my TBR, so I did read this. Those were all of the regular rolls, and then for the additional rolls, so our first additional roll was another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card was a middle grade. Also, I am going to be adding another 2 power, so we are sitting at 12 power currently. And the book that I chose for this was the 12th book in the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. Then another most anticipated read, and I chose Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda. Then roll number 10 was another fate, and the book that got selected was Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. And finally, our last roll was another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card was a new release, also another 2 power, and the book that I ended up choosing for this was Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I am adding 2 power, so we will be starting the month of August with 14 power, so it is very likely that we will be choosing another villain. If we do end up hitting 20 power this month, I will write all of the villains that are available for you guys to choose and vote on, and you guys can all vote in the comments down below as to what villain you guys would like to see in the next month in case we do hit our 20 power. But without further ado, let's get into our August TBR game, starting with how many rolls we will be doing and also roll number 1. Okay, so like you saw, we did end the month of July with 14 power, so I've added the 14 power here after adding all the play cards. We also ended our game over here, so we will be starting here, and I will roll the 12-sided dice to see how many rolls we will be doing for the month of August. So that is an 11. So I think I'm going to roll that again, but again, whatever number I do get, I have to keep. That is a 10. So I have to keep the number 10. Okay, starting with roll number 1. 4. Play a card. A graphic novel. So for roll number 1, we got a play a card, and the prompt on this play a card is a graphic novel. Also, we will be getting 0 power for completing this prompt. But the book that I am going to be choosing for this is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Patrick Horvath. This is volume 3 in the series. I have talked about this series quite a bit on my channel recently. It's a very short graphic novel series following a female bear serial killer in this town where there are just all of these fun and cute animals. It is just a very, very cute graphic novel series that deals with a serial killer, and I absolutely love it. So this is the book that I'm choosing for this. Roll number 2. 3. Random. So for roll number 2, we got a randomize, so I will insert the clip of me choosing a book. Okay, so my TBR is sitting at 859, so let us generate a number 8. Which is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And as you saw, the book that got randomly selected was The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is a YA fantasy novel. We are following our main character, Celine, as she is in 1800s New Orleans. So I already just absolutely love the setting of this book. I believe that Celine is a dressmaker. She ends up getting taken by the sisters of this certain coven, and there she meets a man, but then there is a complete mystery surrounding this man that she has an attraction to, because there is a dead body that ends up being found in this coven where he lives. So she is battling between her attraction and the mystery of the dead body that was found there. And then there is a third dead body, so there is a serial killer amongst them in New Orleans, and this just sounds absolutely up my alley. This sounds perfect. I cannot wait to get to this. This wasn't on my radar originally, but now that I know what the story is about, I am super excited to get to this. Roll number 3. 6. 'Fate. So for roll number 3, we got a Fate. So the 4 books that were randomly selected from my Goodreads were How to End a Love Story, Lady Tan's Circle of Women, Numb to This, and Dune, which I believe this is a prequel to the actual story. So I will just insert a clip of the random wheel generator right here. And the book that got selected is Lady Tan's Circle of Women by Lisa C. So the only thing that I know about this book is that it is a historical fiction, and we are following a woman physician in the 1500s where it was just very frowned upon and absolutely no women physicians existed. And our main character ends up forming a friendship with another woman, but then gets married off, but is basically forced into these ideations of what a housewife should be. So I feel like this is going to be a super hard-hitting book. I am very excited. I have heard nothing but good things about it, so I am excited to get to this. Roll number 4. 1. Play a card. A color. So for roll number 4, we got another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card is a color, and again, we will be getting 0 power from this play a card, but the way that I do the prompt color, I am going to insert a random color spinner wheel, and whatever color gets selected, I have to choose a cover of a book that has a similar color to the one that gets selected. So I'm just going to insert the spinner wheel right here, and as you guys see, the color that got selected was deep orange. And the book that I'm choosing for this is The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. This is that color orange. I think it's pretty bang on. It's not really translating as well on camera, but it definitely looks like deep orange in person. So this, I believe we are following our main character who writes fan fiction, but then he is just not satisfied just writing fan fiction. He actually wants to become what he is writing. And it says that this is full of adventures, thrilling twists, a queer romance, and laugh out loud humor. So I am very, very excited. I do see everyone really enjoying this book, and I have read so much from TJ Klune and have pretty much liked everything that I have read from him. So this should be no exception. Roll number 5. 1. Hero. A 500+ page book. So for roll number 5, it didn't take too long, but we did get a hero battle, and the hero that we will be battling is this peasant, and their prompt is a 500+ page book. So let us see how many rolls we will be doing. So 2 additional rolls, and the book that I am choosing for this prompt is going to be Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. Now, if you guys have this version and you're trying to come for me and say that it's not 500 plus pages. The actual story does end on 479, but with the author's note at the back, it definitely is 500 plus pages. So as long as I read that, I'm definitely going to count it. So I don't really know too much about this. I just know that people have been absolutely loving this book. I do believe that it is a historical fiction. We are following like 4 generations of a Korean family, and there is some type of pregnancy that's involved in this. It just sounds like it's going to be super, super hard hitting. And like I said, everyone has been absolutely loving it. My friend Belisa did tell me that Apple TV, I believe, just came out with a series on this. So I would be very curious to watch that after I read this, but this is what I am choosing for 500 plus pages.
Roll number 6. 3. Fate.
For roll number 6, we got another Fate. So the books that randomly got selected from my Goodreads are Emma of 83rd Street, We Were Dreamers, The Other Misses, and The Hike. So again, I will just put the random wheel spinner right here. And the book that got selected is The Hike by Lucy Clark. So I've never heard of this book. So this sounds like it is a mystery and thriller where we are following our 4 main characters who set out on this hike, and they end up finding a dead body at the bottom of this ravine, and they definitely believe that there is a killer somewhere out in the wilderness. So it sounds like it's going to be a super fast-paced and like hold your breath type of thriller. So I am excited to get to this, but I have never heard of this book.
Roll number 7. 4. 2 power.
So for roll number 7, we got 2 power. So now we are up to 16 power, and a power symbol is I can read one of my most anticipated reads. So the book that I am finally putting on this TBR is going to be Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I have loved literally every single book that Abby Jimenez has ever written, so I am so excited for this. But on top of that, I have seen absolutely everybody loving this book. I don't think I have seen one bad review of this book, so I am nervous because I feel like if I hate it, then everyone will hate me. But I also have very, very high hopes, and I know that I'm just going to absolutely love this book. This is a romance book, but I don't really know what it is about. I know that it is the 3rd book in the Part of Your World series, which I have read the previous 2 books on, so I'm assuming it just follows different characters from that, and I'm very excited for this, but I am a little bit nervous because everybody has been loving this.
Roll number 8. 3. 1 power.
So for roll number 8, we did get another power. So now we are sitting at 17 power. And the anticipated read that I am choosing for this is going to be Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. This is a horror novel that is actually written from the perspective of an 8-year-old girl, I believe. So she lives with her mom, dad, and grandmother, but there is another very haunting entity that she calls Other Mommy. And this other entity is telling this little girl that she wants to go inside of her heart. So this sounds very creepy. There is apparently a lot of creepy things that start happening, incidents around the house, and people have been absolutely loving this. So I am very excited. I've had such good luck with horror novels lately that I hope that this is no exception.
Roll number 9. 6. Hero. Familial relationship.
So for roll number 9, the heroes wanted to come out to battle this month, and we will be battling another hero, and their prompt is a familial relationship, and the number that we will be adding is 4. So we will be doing 16 rolls for the month of August currently, and the book that I am choosing for the family relationships prompt is going to be The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I have had this book on my shelves for the longest time. This was actually a book that I won in a giveaway by one of my really good friends on BookTube, Hallie, who does not make videos anymore, but was such an amazing friend and actually gifted me this for that giveaway. And again, I have had this on my shelves for years, and I am finally going to get to this. The family relationship in this is between two sisters. So this book is essentially following two twin sisters who grew up together, but as they get older, their lives kind of take completely different paths, where one basically identifies with her race as Black and the other one goes as white passing. So I am very curious to see how this story is told. I have heard nothing but really, really good things about this, so I feel like I'm going to absolutely love this book. And again, I really, really need to read it because it has been on my shelves for years.
And finally, our last regular roll number 10. 6. Vanquish.
So for roll number 10, we got a Vanquish, so I am able to read any book that I am in the mood for, and the book that I selected is one that I am actually buddy reading with a friend of mine named Megan, and we decided that we are going to read Chasing the Boogeyman this month, so I am very excited about this. I have heard amazing, amazing things about this. Again, it's another horror book, and I have just been absolutely loving horror. So I don't know too much about this, and I don't really want to know much going in, but essentially what I do know is there are bodies of mutilated girls that start appearing in this town, and I believe that the FBI gets involved in this, and this sounds super creepy. I am so excited to get to this, and I absolutely love the cover of this.
Roll number 11. 3. Play a card. Plants on cover.
Okay, so for our first additional roll number 11, we did get another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card is plants on the cover. And the book that I am selecting for this is going to be The Need by Helen Phillips. There is definitely plants on the cover. I thought of this book right away when this card got pulled. And this again is another horror novel. It is super short, so I will be physically reading this book. And this is essentially about our main character, Molly, who is home alone with her two young children and hears footsteps, but she kind of just like puts it off to sleep deprivation, but then she hears them again. So I feel like this will be super creepy. I have read some reviews on this and I don't think people are absolutely loving it, but this sounds like it is going to be completely up my alley, so I'm very excited to see how I feel about this one.
Roll number 12. 6. Play a card. A pretty cover.
So for roll number 12, we got another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card is going to be a pretty cover. So the book that I am selecting for this, listen and hear me out, pretty covers are subjective. Something that I find pretty, you guys may not, and I don't know what this says about me that I find this pretty. I don't know if I am going to need to seek help because I find that this cover is pretty, but the book that I am selecting for this is The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. I absolutely love this cover. I think it is absolutely stunning. So nice. I am so happy that I finally have this book on my shelves. I have wanted to get to it for so long. I have heard everybody absolutely loving it, and I am feeling a little bit of FOMO about this one. I actually do not know what this book is about, and I feel like I want to physically read this so I can annotate it. So I am not going to tell you what this is about because I feel like I want to go in completely blind. All I know is that people have been absolutely loving this book and that it is a horror novel. So that's all I need to know, and I'm very happy that this got selected. And again, I think that this cover is stunning.
Roll number 13. 3. 3 power.
So for roll 13, we did get 3 power, so we did reach our 20 power, which means that we will be picking a new villain, so I will talk more about that at the end of the video. But for the most anticipated read that I am choosing, I am finally going to read Funny Story by Emily Henry. So in this, we are following our main character, Daphne, whose fiance ends up breaking up with her and dating his childhood best friend because he realizes that he is in love with his childhood best friend. So who does Daphne fall in love with other than his best friend's boyfriend? So it was a little bit confusing, but it sounds like they basically just like swap partners essentially. And again, this is one of my most anticipated reads. Everybody has been absolutely loving this Emily Henry, and I personally have liked pretty much all of the Emily Henry that I have read. They're very, very easy, fun romances, so I am very excited to get to this one.
Roll number 14. 3. Play a card. A YA.
So for roll number 14, we got another play a card, and the prompt on this play a card is a YA book. So the book that I am choosing for this is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. Again, this is one of my more anticipated books that I really, really want to get to. So in this, we are essentially following our main character, Effie, who loves this author so, so much. So then there is a contest that opens up where they are actually able to win a chance to go to this author's estate and basically like redesign it. This sounds so, so good. I have wanted to read this ever since I saw this cover. Like, I am absolutely obsessed with it. And yeah, I cannot wait to get to this one.
Roll number 15. 1. Vanquish.
So for roll number 15, we got a Vanquish, so I can read any book that I own. And the book that I am putting on the TBR for this is going to be Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is book 2 in the Lunar Chronicles. I just read Cinder in the month of July and absolutely loved it, so I do want to keep my momentum going with this series. For those of you who do not know, this is a YA like sci-fi fantasy series. We are following our main character, Cinder, who is a cyborg, and she is one of the like best mechanics in this world of New Beijing. It is loosely based on fairy tales, and I just had such a good time with it, so I do want to continue with the series.
And finally, our last and final roll, roll number 16. 2. Random.
And finally, our last and final roll was roll number 16, and we got a randomize. So I will insert the clip of me randomly selecting a book.
Okay, so we did get another random, so let us see what we will be reading. 292. And that is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson.
So as you guys saw, the book that randomly got selected was The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This just looks super, super creepy. This looks like totally my vibe. So this is a fantasy novel where we are following our main character, Emmanuelle. It sounds like her family is disgraced because her mother married outside of her race. So then our main character tries to do all of these things to restore faith back into like her family's name and kind of like takes after like her father's side of the family. Yeah, this sounds like it's going to be like just super, super creepy. I again love this cover so much. There is like blood spatter on it. Absolutely obsessed. So I am very excited to get to this. That is it for today's video. Thank you all so, so much for watching. So like you guys saw, we did hit 20 power. So we will be choosing a new villain. Again, I will leave all of the eligible villains down below in the description of this video. So please vote on whatever villain you guys would like to see for the month of September. And whichever villain gets the most votes, we will be starting the month with that villain. So it'll be a surprise for all of you. If you did make it to the end of this video, let me know by leaving any of the plant emojis down below in the comments for the one prompt of plant on the cover. As always, if you did like today's video, please hit that thumbs thumbs up like button. And if you are new here, I would love to have you stick around. So please hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys all in my next one. Bye.